They're selling 4 GB graphics cards in 2026. That's where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Things are a little dire when it comes to memory. I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with the news or not. This is news that would have been unthinkable in like 2023, shipping 4 GB cards. Absolutely insane. I want to talk about this. So ASRock unveiled this RX 9050 with 4 GB memory option on it. Their rebuttal to this is that it's just on OEM systems. It's just on pre-builts. Well, if you haven't watched this channel before, I own a pre-built and custom PC company called Meta PCs. So I'd like to give you a little bit of insight into this and why I think this is a terrible idea. Even using it as well, it's just going in OEM and pre-built is honestly worse than selling it standalone. I'm going to tell you why I think that. But first, check this out. ASRock unveiled this Challenger card with an 8 GB and a 4 GB model, 100%. We're also seeing it in some pre-built systems that have been listed on some retailer websites. We'll talk about that. This is the card right here. As you can see, I want to tell you that AMD hasn't shipped a 4 GB desktop card since 2022. It was the RX 6400 in 2022. So it's been 4 years. And even on this website on video cards, which I found kind of funny, the end line here, who would buy a 4 GB model in 2026? This is why I wanted to make the case that selling a 4 GB card and saying, well, it's just OEM, it's just pre-built models, isn't the excuse that we think it is. Right? Or one that we should really accept, because arguably, as someone who sells pre-built systems, the onus is on me to make sure that the components that I'm putting in my systems are things that I'm going to be proud to represent and also, more importantly, support down the line. People have different takes on that. Sometimes it's about hitting a price point, which is unfortunately what I think this card is about. There are a lot of pre-built companies who play very heavily in the $600 to $900 price range, and those prices have been very, very hard to hit as of recently. It's been very, very hard. The increased memory cost, everything is more expensive now. Getting a PC that is pre-built, or even built yourself for that matter, under $1,000 has become more and more difficult to find with new components. So by putting this card in here, someone who may not understand the difference or the amount of VRAM that's needed, and they're just looking at the card model, could look at this and say, it's got a Radeon RX 9050. That's a high number, 9050. That's great. Not understanding the VRAM requirements for modern games, especially AAA titles, and 4 GB isn't going to get you that far. So this 9050 is going to give you half the compute units of a 9060 XT, and you're already seeing this card in a pre-built that is going to be sold on Best Buy. It looks like it is literally available now. In fact, let me pull it up and see. Oh, not AI. No, Best Buy. I don't want the AI. No. What will the AI say? Let's see how smart AI is. Let's see what all this increased memory cost is getting us here. I could just type it in search and find it now. Ah, yes. Just what I was looking for. The 9050 USB gaming microphone. Incredible. I'm glad these memory prices are going up so we can have this on bestbuy.com. Sold out. So coming soon. Type of thing, but the listing is up, and boy, that little card in there, that doesn't even look like the card. So guys, this card, I want you to take a really good long look at this. This is what the memory shortage looks like on the shelf, right? By the way, it ain't even just about this card, and I'm not ragging on ASRock. I'm not ragging on anybody. The prices are going insane. I have two examples here. First and foremost, MSI and Colorful. It always starts in China, or typically does when it comes to some of the price increases, as we've seen recently. MSI and Colorful have started to raise 50 series pricing in China. Why? You know why. I don't even have to tell you. This GPU pricing table is brutal. Check this out. Videocards.com has this laid out pretty well for you to be able to take a gander. MSRP, average new price in China, 40 to almost 50% average increase on pricing for these cards in China. Absolutely nuts. An RTX 5080, China MSRP, $1,225 USD, 1809 average new price. I saw something today that bestbuy.com has some Asus cards that are 5080s that are now exceeding what the MSRP of the 5090 was supposed to be. Like, you are watching it happen in real time. Do not be surprised when we get to the holidays this year and these cards are just so expensive. And I've talked about it this entire year, and you are right to be skeptical because I am a guy that owns a pre-built company. I have a financial interest in you buying a system, even if you don't. You build your own. It's why I make content on this channel. It has nothing to do with you buying a pre-built. If you have a need, a desperate need for an upgrade, I mean, it's not getting better anytime soon. So even if you don't buy a pre-built, if you're looking to upgrade a graphics card or memory, I hate to say it, but now's the time to bite the bullet. I don't know what to tell you. And if you don't have a desperate need and everything's working great for you, brother, sister, hold on to your hardware as long as you possibly can. Like, notice this too. This chart is actually super useful in a couple of different ways. Notice the scale of increase by memory, going from 8 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes on the 5060 Ti. Look at the increase. Look at the increase average. This is all tied to memory. This is all tied to memory. But then again, you already knew that. They didn't raise the price of the card. They raised the price of the memory. And they raise it again for the 12 gig and then again for 16, as you can see here. So you're not really buying a GPU anymore. You're buying RAM with a fan on it at this point. Again, NVIDIA, this is even separate from MSI and Colorful, but also definitely related. NVIDIA could be preparing for another GPU price increase. This is according to Taiwan's Daily News. NVIDIA is planning to raise GPU package prices by 20 to 30% due to rising DRAM costs. This would be the third GPU price hike in 2026. Now, obviously, previously, the main card that got squeezed and juiced in terms of price increases was a 5090. Obviously, that is just a crap ton of memory, so that makes sense. But this is now affecting the entire 50 series. This just says it best, doesn't it? I love you. Please let me die. No, comma. I can't afford to. Let's follow the money here, though. And I know a lot of you guys have been keeping up on this. Samsung just posted, this is literally yesterday, their new second quarter 2026 results just came out last night. And there's something really kind of fun and ironic in here, and moronic even. They shattered records. The memory division, as you may have expected, we saw this with Micron. Micron literally better margins in their most recent quarter of profits they reported than NVIDIA. Like, memory makers are printing money. Samsung Q2 2026 memory division shatters records, but there's a division within Samsung posted an operating loss. How's that possible? Well, it was the Galaxy Mobile division, the phone division, posted a loss. Why? Because they have to buy the memory from Samsung's memory division. Like, Samsung is such a big company that these divisions, they will place purchase orders with the memory division of Samsung if you're working in the phone cell. Like, it's just almost like a separate company in a lot of ways. So check this out. Samsung's chip division made $61 billion in 3 months. And then Samsung's phone division lost money. So same company, same building, probably. One of them is charging the other one so much for memory that they can't build a profitable phone anymore. And we're all like wondering why a graphics card costs what it costs. It's just insane. So the phone division, just to recap real quick, posts an operating loss of roughly $480 million, $480 million loss. Revenue grew, but the component costs ate it all. The story of the year. So yeah, Samsung can't afford to buy memory from Samsung. So that's kind of interesting. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like if you're still with me, because this next part is probably the one that I've been chewing on for a while, and I know most of you have too. So the story we've been told, memory got expensive, so cards got expensive. So somebody decided that 4 gigabytes was a product again. Okay, that's where we are. But here again is the part that I'm chewing on, and I know I'm not the only one. I've had a feeling, and I've seen this in my comments too, that AI is a very convenient story to tell while some of these memory makers are raising prices on everybody else. Not a conspiracy theory, by the way, because there's an active federal lawsuit that was filed like 5 weeks ago in the Northern District of California. This is the price fixing class action lawsuit. The defendants are the good old boys. Samsung, SK Hynix, Micron, that's 90% of the global DRAM market between those three. So what's the claim of this lawsuit? Well, the claim is this. The heart of it is that these companies use the industry's shift to high bandwidth memory, the HBM memory. Those are the chips that are feeding our their AI data centers. And they're using that as a pretext to wind down production of your DDR3, DDR4, and also just conventional DRAM supply, and driving prices up 700% over the last 4 years. They cite things like MacBooks and iPads. That's the price increases that we're seeing there is part of what's harming consumers. And they're claiming all of this under antitrust law. So who's suing? Who's party to this lawsuit? Well, there's 17 plaintiffs, 14 individuals. And this is where things get interesting for me is 3 of them are small PC businesses like Troy's Computers, My Florida PC. That's my industry. These are shops that are much like mine that are getting hit hard enough to sue. And their evidence is basically this: production cuts in 2022, customer vetting procedures, and also Micron shutting down Crucial, which all you guys know that really was not great on the consumer side in terms of us having options to purchase from. And it's not the first time that this has happened either. And this is also why I'm going to talk about in a second why I think lawsuits like this might have some trouble as they make their way through the system, because these guys are smart. They've been here before. Probably one of the most well-known lawsuits when it comes to price fixing between late 90s, early 2000s. Samsung paid $300 million in an antitrust lawsuit, second largest in US history at the time. All of these companies were paying a ton of money due to these lawsuits, them getting caught red-handed. In fact, like this Samsung senior manager ended up going to prison, 8 months, sentenced to 8 months in prison and fined $250,000. But none of that seemed to matter because he got promoted to president of Germany in 2009 and then Europe in 2014. So I guess he did a good job, some might say, if the sum works at Samsung. Yeah, when people say that this is just like a conspiracy theory, I have to remind you, the answer is no. This is quite literally a rerun of what's already happened. It's the same industry, mostly the same names, and last time it ended in convictions. Here's why I think that won't happen again. Now, don't hate me, please. I feel like every video I've been saying, like, don't hate me before I drop something, so... Again, don't hate me. This has been tried recently and has lost badly. 2018, there was a class action, basically the same playbook, alleging that those same 3 companies colluded during the 2016 to 2017 upcycle. DRAM prices doubled. All 3 of them throttled supply at the same time. Seemed like collusion. Well, that ended up getting dismissed, and the court came back and said, this could more likely be explained by lawful, unchoreographed, free market behavior. And listen, if you've had 10 years to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes, do you think that these companies are smart enough to figure it out, how to get around this? Do you think Samsung has decent lawyers? Do you think Micron has a pretty good attorney? What a joke. They probably have 500. Also, it's kind of hard to prove, I would imagine, that that this was a price fixing endeavor, because there's like boring explanations for most of this stuff that I'm sure that these companies are going to lean on. HBM, the shift to make HBM memory, really is more profitable. So killing Crucial technically makes sense if a data center pays more. It doesn't take away that the suspicion is real. The history backs it. The case is real, but still very hard to prove. I mean, you got to admit. Also, when there's only 3 companies left, they don't even need to collude with each other. This is how I think they've gotten away with it. They literally just have to read each other's earnings reports. That's it. It's like not that hard of a thing to do in lockstep with all of the information that is already publicly available from these companies. You just don't admit to it. Smart. This is where my personal experience maybe comes into play here, if you're interested in hearing about it as someone that runs a pre-built PC company. Now, I'm not like a massive company. We're not huge. We're a decent size, but we're not one of the powers. We're not one of the pre-builts that ends in power. You know, we move a decent amount of units. We're not tiny, but we're not massive. And we've seen even in our own business at Meta PCs, pricing has been wild all over the place. Availability has been wild and all over the place. And when you're building a company that has employees, that has payroll, that has health insurance, that has all of these expenses, trying to keep this in line while still explaining to customers why a system costs what it does, when you already need to add in margin for things like long-term support. We do lifetime support on our systems. We pay our employees. We provide healthcare. Those are all things that don't come without a cost. So stacking memory and all of these other price increases on top of it is really, really hard on consumers to justify, like, getting a new PC right now. It's a difficult sell to make in some cases. And listen, I got to kind of tie it to the lawsuit I talked about earlier. 3 of the 17 plaintiffs are small PC shops. There it is right there. And the last part of this, this really details how high the stakes are. This just came out today. An NVIDIA staffer was detained in China. They suspect him allegedly, important word to use here, of falsifying business documents and potentially doing some versions of smuggling. This is enough to where they went through his desk, his office at NVIDIA, his home office, and really tore the thing apart. This is happening more and more, and if you think about the reasons why, really it doesn't take that much to understand why this is happening. I mean, there are even cases of like small time smuggling where people are literally strapping themselves with chips, going like mules. Chip mules going across the border. The bigger side of this, which is what I'm talking about here, involves NVIDIA staffer, Supermicro's co-founder was indicted over roughly $510 million in diverted servers. And the reason is, if you think about it, it's all demand-based. NVIDIA's entire Chinese chip market sits at zero. It's closed off by export controls for those AI chips. And this week, as you can see right here, it shows exactly what that number actually costs to enforce. Company employee detained, his home, his desk at his office searched, over 50 servers that made it through customs anyway. The point isn't NVIDIA. And in fact, NVIDIA, or an unnamed NVIDIA employee, came out and said, yo, we're not cool with smuggling, obviously. So the point isn't NVIDIA. The point is the temperature, because demand for these things is hot enough that people are allegedly faking paperwork just to move them across borders. So yeah, here we are. 4 gigabyte cards. They're back. Welcome back to 2022, when even in 2022 may have been a little suspicious using a 4 gigabyte card. Now, listen, I don't know if these memory makers are colluding. I think they are. I think they're just doing it in a smarter way. But 17 people think so. And I guess a judge is going to figure out what's going on. And what I do know is that a company made $61 billion in a quarter. That's what I do know. And that the answer to VRAM being expensive was apparently this right here, was to sell us less of it. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. You have to let me know in the comments down below. Guys, let me know what your last build actually cost you versus what you budgeted, if you've built something recently as of the RAM crisis coming to fruition, especially this year. And let me know. I want to read through some of these comments and understand what you've seen out there as you've been putting your build together, especially if you've done so recently this year. Guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, make sure you leave a like on the video, drop a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you like content like this. All right, we'll see you next time.